Buying a rundown abandoned A-frame in the countryside was a massive undertaking. The potential was there, the work just needed to happen. And it has come a long way since 2023, but the basement has been the biggest project by far. It's also probably our worst looking room right now. Sort through things, clean things. Exactly 1 year ago, demolition began. We tore out hidden hallways, opened everything up, and in doing that, it actually became the largest room in the house. Suddenly, there was so much more room to imagine what it could be. And that spring, we spent day after day down there, peeling back layer after layer, uncovering what had been hiding underneath the whole time. And just like that, time passed. Winter rolled into the mountains. We found ourselves out there in the snow, replacing windows, then building a new hearth for the wood stove so we could keep heating the A-frame with wood from our land. And from there, things really started to take shape. New framing went up, we added custom doors, and then it was time for the walls, which meant going back to barn board. I spent hours sanding them so we could turn them into accent walls, and last week we finally finished one of them. So that brings us to this week. We've got some pretty ambitious goals, but the real question is, can we actually pull it off in just 1 week?
And I love that it's completely custom. The wall, everything, it built from scratch.
We figured we'd start with what was probably going to be the toughest part, and that's that section where we framed out the closet. The idea was to have 2 doors, different sizes, custom built, that would sit flush and also flow with the rest of the shiplap. And that space allowed for some hidden storage, and one of the doors was big enough to access, repair, or replace the water heater if something ever went wrong. And at first, it actually felt like everything was going pretty smoothly. We got really excited how fast this first wall went up and wanted to keep moving quickly, and forgot to account for that the door that we want to be seamless, everything needs to line up with each of these spots as the walls meet, and so the door the way that it is right now, we didn't account for that, so we gotta take this stuff off. It wasn't the biggest mistake, but we definitely wanted to correct it, so we used a reference board to the left of the door on the bottom to align that first piece, and that solved it. That looks pretty good. Got a door! To this end here?
Yeah, the very end.
We have now officially entered that time of year where the ticks are out, the mosquitoes are breeding. If you haven't experienced that influx of them yet, you will shortly. There are many ways to deal with the bites naturally after you've been attacked, things like a poultice from plantain, but preventative measures are my go-to. And at this point, I've been studying herbs and essential oils for years, getting to know them in and out, even making essential oils right here from the land at the A-frame. Also using a copper alembic still under my mentor Hannah, and we've done that on a few occasions. So what I'm getting at is that I have done a lot of true field testing, and I've combined the most effective oils to combat spiders, ticks, mosquitoes, anything flying around you that's trying to get you. Now today, I'm going to walk you guys through how I make a batch, what the formula is, and that way you can try making it for yourself, or you could shop my apothecary. The link is always in the description, but let's dive right in. It begins with a mix of witch hazel, a small amount of extracting alcohol, and then distilled water. And that ensures purity, no minerals or contaminants, and it prolongs the life of the spray. Then it's all about the oils. Essential oils are concentrated extracts from plants. The leaves, bark, flowers, even the roots can be used. And through a process called distillation, the volatile compounds are able to be separated out, and each has its own unique set of properties and benefits, with a wide range from altering your mood, easing skin concerns, calming nausea or migraines. And for this purpose, they'll infuse together to make a powerful, potent blend that deters insects of all kinds. And of note, this formula is DEET-free. DEET is a man-made synthetic chemical that is controversial. It works well, but can come with some scary risks. And the essential oils I currently use are lemongrass, clove, peppermint, rosemary, lavender, cedarwood, eucalyptus, geranium, thyme, cinnamon bark, tea tree, basil, citronella, and spearmint. And yes, it's a pretty comprehensive list, but it does the job and it makes it versatile. And from there, I repeat with each bottle, making sure that the same amount of each oil goes into every one. Okay, let's test this out. Give it a good shake. It's all natural, there's no emulsifiers, so you want to make sure that the essential oils are distributed evenly throughout the entire bottle. Ooh, that's good. My friends and family that try this recipe, they always come to me after and they're like, I cannot believe how good this works, because they have difficulty believing that there can be the duality, that this can be so pleasing to the senses and also be great at what it's meant to do. To describe it to you, it's herbaceous, earthy, it's got a little bit of a hint of wood. Yeah, so if you guys would like your own bottle, the link is in the description, or if you experiment with your own blend, let me know what you use and how it works. Today we are moving on from shiplap because in order to start installing the wall behind me and the one adjacent to it, we have to tackle a couple other things first. One of them being where we replaced all of the windows to seal them, make sure no water's getting in. We now need to trim out, which the plan is to do in barn board. So last night I was outside again, working on sanding more boards, making sure that we've got a continual stock going that are ready for installation when the time comes. And that way we will avoid any holdups as we progress. Also, this wall in front of me here where there's a nook, we decided will also be another barn board accent wall. And then just for reference, so you guys can visualize this better, this is that nook and wall that I was talking about that will get the barn board accent on it. So I think the order of operations today would be, I'm going to do my best to scrape out the windows right now, see if there's any screws or nails in the way of the trimming, and then back to shiplap either today or tomorrow, and then barn board. You know, it feels like a lot right now, but we're really kind of closing in on getting these walls done. Just getting all these little pieces out and not worrying too much about the stuff elsewhere because that'll be covered up. Oh my gosh. Most of the renovation work isn't the dramatic demo or the big reveal. It's a lot of slow, repetitive, tedious tasks, things that people may not think of or notice. And honestly, it'll test you. You have to have a lot of patience and determination. And for me, keeping the vision, the end goal in mind, that's what motivates me. And plus, those unexciting steps are what make everything else possible. That wow moment at the end, it only comes to fruition because of all of the layers of effort underneath. It teaches you that showing up, being consistent, it pays off. It reminds me that staying dedicated actually yields real results. And you build such a connection to the journey, the process, and in that way, it is so much more rewarding. So in this stretch of days, we put in the hours, completed the insulation, got the windows trimmed, and even started nailing in more shiplap. Growing season is right around the corner here, and this past week I've kind of been shifting into that mindset a little bit more and planning and even reflecting from the end of the season last year. All of the bountiful harvests, filling the freezer with pesto and salsas and apple pie filling. And then in the fridge portion, all of the different pickles that I made. And as soon as those hit the shelves in here, it is absolutely crucial that we do not lose power to our fridge, because what a waste that would be in time and effort and food. You guys know that I am all about tools that help us increase our self-sufficiency here, and I've told you about some of my favorite along the way. Now I've partnered with Bluecell to tell you about their brand new FridgePower. So as I was saying, food spoils quickly when the power goes out. But with the FridgePower, it's a fridge-first backup device that automatically keeps your fridge going during a blackout. It's very convenient and super simple. No installation, no fuel, no unnecessary steps. And you can tell with one look, it's sleek, it's slim, ideal for tight spaces. And if you'd like options, it also comes with a wall mount to fit your specific space. So say the power does go out. The FridgePower kicks on in 10 milliseconds. That's seamless. And it's whisper quiet. You also get full safety control and real-time alerts right from the app. Personally, I love the magnetic display where I get instant access to key metrics. Plus, it's expandable from 2016 watt-hours to 8064 watt-hours. On top of that, its automotive-grade battery is built to last over 4,000 cycles. When it comes to charging, you could plug it directly into the wall or use solar panels. The FridgePower, it's efficient, it's modern, it's easy, and if you're looking to add another layer of food security or worry-freeness to your home, this is an excellent choice. Right now, they have super early bird pricing on Kickstarter. I'll put the link to that in my description. So once again, thank you so much to Bluecell, not only for sponsoring this video, but for making it so we don't have to stress out about power outages out here. The snow is gone, unless we get a random blizzard, which sometimes does happen, but for the most part I think we're good, and that means that I can now see what's in my compost bin. It's completely revealed. And about the end of last year, I actually sort of shut down that first bay. I had a goal to fill each bay to the brim before moving on to the next, but I realized that wasn't super feasible at this point. Once we have things like chickens and bigger gardens and more of a farm or homestead established here, it will be. The idea was that now, instead of continually adding to it and prolonging the time that it would take for me to actually get compost, that I would let it sit. I'll move on to bay number 2. That's where I've been adding on to now. And I didn't turn over the winter because the snow, the ice, and in the warm season I typically come out and turn my compost at least once a week to help speed things up. Today is the first check. I'm really excited. I also want to tell you guys a little bit about composting in case you're interested. I've got a nice bucket load here to put into bay 2, and then we'll turn everything and see how bay number 1 is going. Composting is actually fairly simple. You want to maintain a ratio of 3 parts brown, such as dry leaves, wood chips, to 1 part green. That's kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, grass. I never add in meat or dairy, anything oily or seasoned, and you can tell when the pile is off if it gets stinky or slimy, and then you just add more browns. In order to keep things somewhat damp, you'll want to place your pile in an area of partial sun. Full sun may accelerate the breakdown, but it'll quickly dry your pile all the way out. Keep it moist, not soaked, so if you have to add water sometimes, that's okay. And typically here, the rain is enough to keep it just right. Also, I never add weeds, they'll just spread and take up the nutrients. And along that same line, I try to avoid putting things in with seeds. To give it the occasional boost, I might add eggshells or comfrey, and in the beginning, it doesn't hurt to add some already finished compost. You can use a bin, build any sort of corral. Just keep in mind that you might need to fence it or keep it covered from animals. Somehow, we have not yet had that problem here, knock on wood, and over time, it'll just keep accumulating. Maybe this is something that you've wanted to try for a while on some sort of to-do list or bucket list. You feel called to try it. I can't recommend it enough. It's rewarding, it's transformative. What would otherwise become waste ends up becoming this nutrient-rich fertilizer for your yard, your garden, your houseplants even. You guys, the list goes on and on because it's natural, you're not putting chemicals in your yard, it's going to boost your soil structure, help your water retention, it's going to divert waste out of landfills, and it's essentially free. I feel like it gives you this deeper connection to self and to nature, to firsthand observe and partake in this natural process happening everywhere. And overall, I'm really happy with Bay 1. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it sure looks a heck of a lot different than it did when it started, and that means it's working. Feels like the weather is on our side with renovations lately. We've had plenty of days of heavy spring rain here, but on the days that we want to get to work, we have been getting high 70s. Today it's like that again, on and off clouds, but so warm. And even though we're starting late in the afternoon today because I had some orders to fill in my apothecary and Kyle had some office things to tackle, I think today we could get another really big step done. That ambitious goal I mentioned in the beginning was wrapping up the shiplap by the end of the week, and in that moment, it felt both near and far. Even a seemingly simple job like this can take longer than you anticipate, and whenever that's the case, I remember that this is not a race, it's our home, and as long as we're doing our best, how could we complain or be disappointed? I think it's important to set goals and timelines, but it's not make or break if things don't go to plan every single time. So rather than rush and maybe end up unhappy with the outcome, we know that we're taking our time to do things right. We're super close, we're on the last little bit, kind of the last row, because even though we have 2 rows for each section, we're going to go section by section around the windows and get it done. Which way exactly?
That way that I had. Yeah.
Last one, last nail.
Holy smokes.
The wall behind me is now officially complete. We got through the shiplap installation, which means we're another wall closer to having the basement done. It was our biggest wall yet, so on to the next wall, and then painting, window trim. That means I have to stay on top of sanding more barn board. You can really feel it. Things are rolling. It's happening. We're getting closer and closer. I mean, even just looking, when you stand in that corner of the room and look over here, and you can see we've already got some of the shiplap painted and the closets are done and this wall's up and the windows are trimmed out. It's so transformative from what it used to be down here. To picture that and where we're at now, it's really crazy. Just gonna keep going and going and chipping away.